Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. My name is Mark Roden, and in today's video we are going to be going over what are, in my opinion, the top 10 best Hondas slash Acuras as well. So there are going to be some Acuras on this list, but they're Hondas overseas. They're the same thing. They're the same thing, in my opinion. Now this is obviously all just opinion based. It's not based off of its performance. It's not based off of its price. It's not based off of just its looks. It's based off of everything that I like about cars, really, and just thrown into one. Without the song of the day, I don't have a song of the day today. Actually, I didn't do that, so never mind on the song of the day. Actually, I'll come up with one of the spots. Song of the day is Debt by Shalco. It's a good song. Go listen to it. But anyway, without further ado, let's go right into the list with number 10. So number 10 is the Minecraft Honda, the 5th generation Honda Prelude. Why I say it's a Minecraft car, you may be asking? Well, because the headlights, they look like Minecraft heads. I cannot be the only one that thinks that. There's no way that I am the only one that thinks that. I am obviously a big fan of it. It's sitting here at the number 10 spot, but at the same time, man, the styling on the 5th gen is weird. It's not bad. It's not ugly. It's definitely not ugly. It's actually a really, really good looking car, but it's just so interesting. They took such a weird approach to the 5th gen Prelude's styling. But anyway, it's a really nice car. I think Preludes come with F series, which aren't bad motors. Like, yeah, they're not B series or K series. They're not the best motors out there, but they're still really good. Pretty much any Honda motor is, so you can obviously get some power out of it, but the Preludes were built from the factory to handle well anyway. They were built to handle better than the Civics and the Integras and stuff like that, and they did just that. They were little sports cars, man. But if you think that means there's not a single Honda Civic on this list, you, my friend, are sadly mistaken, because the number 9 spot is the Honda Civic EG. The EG actually stands for erectile growth. I know it's weird, but Honda's inappropriate, man. They do that kind of stuff. They're messed up kind of people. But yeah, the EG Civic, we all know it. You know, everybody knows what the EG Civic is at this point. It's the Civic for tuning. Everybody wants one that's a tuner, and it makes sense. They're a damn good tuner car. They come with a B series, so obviously, you know, B series means butthole power. That's what it means, and it's great at it. It's great at making power, but on top of that, it's lightweight, again. It handles well, again. And I know everybody else likes the EG hatches, and I do like them too, but I honestly am a big fan of the EG coupes. I know they're technically called like the EJ1 at that point because they're not the same or whatever, but you know what I'm saying. That 5th generation Civic coupes, I like them. I think they actually look a lot better than the hatches. Coming in at the number 8 spot, however, is another Civic, but slightly newer, just by, you know, a couple years, maybe 5 or so, I don't know. The FK8 Civic Type R. Yes, I actually like this car a lot. I understand all the memes about it being riced from factory, and it kind of was riced from factory. You know, fake vents, that is really ridiculous. A spoiler on a front-wheel drive car is a little ridiculous. The hood scoops where it doesn't really need hood scoops was definitely, again, very ridiculous. The car was, you know, over the top from the factory, but I think that it honestly looked really good. And then on top of that, you modify it slightly, and it's even more aggressive. Now, yes, it's easy to write this off in a picture. You know, if you see this Type R Civic in a picture, you're like, oh, it's not that cool. But then when you see them in person, it looks a lot better. And on top of that, it's the only Civic Type R that we got. Well, it was the first Civic Type R that we got in America. It was the first Civic Type R with a turbo on it, which it had so many new like things about it. It was the fastest front-wheel drive car in the world for so long, until the new Civic came out, actually. It just is a really good car. Coming in at the number 7 spot, however, is the 4th generation of the Prelude. Yes, I like the 4th gen better than the 5th gen. Don't ask why. I honestly think it's just because of the looks. You know, it's in terms of its performance, the 4th gen Prelude is pretty much worse than the 5th gen in absolutely every way. It still comes with a F series. Actually, they might come with H series. Are they H series or F series motors? I don't know which motors that these Preludes come with. I'm drawing a blank right now, but they're not as good as the B series or K series is what I'm saying, and so it definitely, you know, is missing out on some of the Honda tunability, but that's okay because it makes up for it in terms of its looks. When I look at a 4th gen Prelude, I see an aggressive little sports car, and that's exactly what they were going for, and I think they absolutely nailed it. I would buy a 4th gen Prelude if I didn't already have an Integra. I like the Integra, I'm fine with that. But yeah, it's just a nice, small, good handling Honda. Is it the best in terms of its performance? Definitely not. But is it bad either? No. Coming in at the number 6 spot, however, is actually going to the first Acura, but again, it's probably a Honda overseas. The new Acura TLX. I don't know what generation this is. If I had to guess, I would say it's probably the 5th gen TL. but I'm not 100% sure on that. 6th gen maybe, but either way, I absolutely love it. My friend Damien has one of these, and so I saw it. He also has an Integra, so I went over there to pick up a part for my Integra, and when I was over there, I was looking at his TLX. They are just so aggressively cool. Like, they look like a European, like, sports sedan, but has the reliability of Hondas, and I think that's absolutely amazing. They're wide fenders, wide quarter panels. They look aggressive in the front. Their headlights are, like, slanted down like they're angry. Their interior is really nice. Obviously not as nice as, like, an Audi A5 or something like that, but it definitely has a nice interior. And again, since it's as reliable as Honda, it just scratches all my itches. I love the new Acura TLX. I think it's massively underrated. Coming in at the number 5 spot is going to my favorite of the Civic family, the generation right before the EG Civic, actually, the EF Civic. This is the 4th generation? Yeah, 4th generation of the Honda Civic, and it's that retro boxy styling one. They always use them in the No Good Racing or whatever they're called. Not Bad Racing. I saw somebody make like a livery on Forza or something for Not Bad Racing one time, and I thought it was pretty funny. I got a good chuckle out of it. But yeah, these things are freaking awesome. I love the EF Civic so much. I know that their performance isn't that good. I know they're pretty goddamn slow. I know that they're not that cool looking to the rest of the world. I know their interior is outdated. I know they're probably unreliable at this point. I know they're old. I know they're too expensive for what they are. I know that they are not a good car to absolutely anybody else in the world except for Honda guys. But I love the EF Civic. It just looks perfect. It is so cool looking. It's so aggressive, yet like normal. I don't know. I love it. Coming in at the number 4 spot is going to the DC2 Honda Integra Type R. This is my generation, the bug eye generation, the one that we know in America as the Integra, but the Type R version. Now, I said bug eye, it's spider eye, whatever, you know what I meant. But yeah, now honestly, I don't really care if it's the JDM front end or the USDM front end. I like both of them. I like the spider eyes Integras. My Integra is a spider eye Integra, and I like it, dude. I mean, yes, I like the JDM front end better, slightly. They do look just a little bit more aggressive, but I honestly don't mind either way. And obviously, we all know the history of this car. You know, it's really quick. It was the fastest front wheel drive car when it came out. It was an absolute rocket around the track. The Type R version was just it was so ahead of its time. It was like stripped interior, freaking literally race parts on every single corner of the car. It was a race car from factory, and that easily brings it up so many more spots, even if it didn't look that cool. Now, coming in at 3rd place, the bronze medal is going to the DC5 Honda Integra Type R, or as we know it in the United States, the Acura RSX. Yes, 2 Integras back to back, but I didn't know how else to put them. I like them both a lot, and so I didn't want to like put one lower on the list just so that it would split them up. So I just put them right next to each other. I'm sorry, but yeah, the DC5, in my opinion, is just slightly better than the DC2. Not by much, you know, definitely not like massively better. You know, it was a thinker for sure, but I think at the end of the day, when I look at the two cars side by side, I see what they did. I think the DC5 is slightly better. I think it also looks slightly better. It's newer, so it has better technology in it. And in terms of its performance, it's better than the DC2. Now, people like to argue that and be like, well, the DC2, you could modify it. Well, you can also modify the DC5. And I understand that the suspension is just a little bit worse on the DC5, but it still got a better lap time. So it must have done something right. Coming in at 2nd place, however, is going to, I'm going to be honest, the last 2 entries are basic, but they're basic for a reason. They're freaking sick. So number 2 is the S2000. The S2000 is awesome. I don't care who you are, friend. This is a freaking sick car. I think it comes with an F22, if I'm not mistaken, which, again, is not as good as like a B series or a K series. Whoa, I have like a loogie in the back of my throat. But yeah, you can swap these things with K series. And on top of that, the F series motor that is in the S2K is still really good for tuning. I mean, you've seen them. You've seen all the S2000s that are modified and make ridiculous amounts of horsepower before. On top of that, they obviously handle incredibly well. They look really, really sporty. They're a convertible only, which usually I don't like. Like the Toyota MR2 Spider, I didn't like that. I don't know. I just don't like convertible cars 9 times out of 10. But the S2K really nailed it. Like, I actually don't like the hardtop versions of the S2000 better than the convertible versions. And on top of that, it's rear-wheel drive, which is awesome. But of course, 1st place, I feel like everybody knew it was going to be here somewhere because it is just the best Honda ever made. It's the NSX NA1, the 1st generation of the NSX. I think there's technically 3 generations. I don't know. Is it like, because I know that, okay, so I know that they came with the pop-ups first, and then eventually they gave it fixed headlights in like the 2000s, but was that a whole different generation? I don't know, but it's the NA one. Whether it's the fixed headlights or pop-up headlights, both of them are absolutely amazing in my opinion. They're both pretty much similar. There's so much stuff about the NSX that is just amazing. Let's talk about the obvious ones first. The car's mid-engine, that's crazy. The car's rear-wheel drive, that's crazy. And the car's V6. That's crazy. All three of those things are not in normal Hondas. You know, you can get a V6 in like an Accord, but it's not this. You know, it had double wishbone suspension on all four corners. The car was ahead of its time. It was cheap as hell, but held up with Ferraris and Lamborghinis of its time. It is a monster. The NSX truly deserves to be labeled as a JDM legend. And I know that it's not, it's, you know, our true Honda guys like the Civics and the Accords and the Preludes better than the NSX, but I don't. I like the NSX the best. I think it's absolutely perfect. But ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of today's video of the top 10 best Hondas in my personal opinion. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel for more content just like this. I might do this with a couple of other manufacturers, so let me know if that's what you want to see. I could do Toyota, Ford, Chevy, whatever. You guys get the idea. There's car manufacturers out there, and I might do them with those. But yeah, let me know what other videos you'd like to see. I am actually going to really quickly, I'm not a big football guy, but I started betting on football, and ever since I started like betting on it, it's actually pretty fun. So I'm gonna start, I'm gonna really quick say the next record the next script that I have to do for tomorrow to line it up for tomorrow, and then go watch football. So short outro today, which turned out to be not a short outro because I explained it, and so now it's a long outro. But anyway, yeah, das vidanya. Have a nice night.